Oh, I just went to adjust my glasses and I'm not wearing them. So I'm reading through comments because I usually pick like a topic or a video and then respond to certain particular comments. But I don't know if I necessarily want to do that because I just found some that I'm a little confused by, that I just kind of want to respond to here, that I didn't respond to because they're like relatively recent. So the first one was on the video that was titled "People Ask Me If I'm Trans All the Time," where I was just kind of talking about like my outward appearance, how people interpret it. And in that video, I discussed kind of like how I, throughout my life, not throughout my whole life, but I would say maybe like college and beyond, had kind of a difficult, and as I've gotten older, kind of a difficult time connecting with other women. And I saw a lot of comments from women who agreed, who felt a similar way. So this person said, I think the reason you are still coming off as a pick me, I'm assuming that means like I'm expecting people to approach me or something. I don't know, unless that's a term that I just don't know. Very, very possible. Is that you're immediately dismissing potentially positive interactions with other women. It could be something you're not doing on purpose, but it's also not a pro-woman mindset to be in. No one is asking you to hang out with ultra-feminine people, but your aversion to them is telling of deeper issues. So I don't have a problem with ultra-feminine people because I would say that I have friends who are pretty feminine, or like are into, I don't know, what the fuck is ultra-feminine, That is not my problem. I semi agree with this person. I do think that for whatever reason and due to like certain experiences in my life and just kind of like how I've evolved, I guess, I kind of assume that it's not going to go well. So yeah, I agree. And I think I said this in that video that like I have my own kind of like fucked up thing that's preventing me from certain interactions or relationships with female friends. So totally agree with you on that. That's one that I'm just trying to figure out how to change that, and it's just about being like a little bit more open-minded, I think. I'm also kind of trying to figure out exactly where it comes from, because I think that helps you change it. So that's just something that I'm working on. The only thing that I would say is I didn't mean to come off as if saying that I'm not interested in hanging out with ultra feminine people. I would say that the people that I am friends with ranges very much, in like how feminine, how like their interests, what kind of people they are. The only thing that I'm very attracted to is people who are incredibly just like authentic and honest and not afraid to, don't take themselves too seriously, like not afraid to like poke fun, at each other. That whole like talking shit, giving people a hard time kind of thing. That's how I connect. So all the other things I don't really give a fuck about. But yeah, anyway, I agree basically with like half of your comment, and I kind of just wanted to clear up that last part. Then I got another one, which said, on that same video that said, you can't function in the world without making assumptions. It's necessary and fine and not hurtful unless you try to limit people. Also, what's feminine is extremely well defined and well known and documented and easily recognized. I dig this talk and it made me think. These are just the 2 points that made me do a double take. So the first one, you can't function in this world without making assumptions. Totally agree. And I think I was just having this conversation recently with my brother and then again with my boyfriend. We were talking about just kind of like our as people, the evolution of us versus like the modern world that we live in, and how we as like organisms are pretty far behind, and we have a really hard time like functioning in this world because we're just like not ready for it. It's too fast paced. So I think assumptions it's a very basic like human instinct, and it's usually tied to like survival. Like we're assessing the situation, we're assessing whether or not someone is a threat, or if we might have things in common with them, if we can trust them. It's like if we break it down to like very, very basic. So yeah, I agree. I think assumptions are incredibly like, it's just a human thing. Like it's a normal thing, and it's not something that we should feel like horrible about. I don't necessarily think, I don't know if I completely agree with this next one. It's necessary and fine and not hurtful unless you try to limit people. I don't think that the only negative of it is limiting people. Like, I understand what they're saying. They're saying that, like, as long as you're not making these assumptions and then, like, you know, cutting people out of your life or not giving people a chance or including people because of those assumptions. But one of the things that I talked about in that video about identity, where I talked about Derek Delgadio's thing, what was that called? In and of itself, was how people's perceptions of us affect our own perceptions. So certain assumptions can be damaging without being like intentionally hurtful, like leaving people out or discriminating against like people because of a certain assumption. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if I don't completely agree with that. Also, the feminine thing was very confusing. Also, what's feminine is extremely well defined and well known and documented and easily recognized. What's feminine? I just completely disagree with this. Because I think well defined in what? Yeah, it is. Well, it's defined by like how we've defined it, though. You know what I mean? Like, we're just people. We make up society. We make up social rules. It's not something that we like sit down and have a meeting about, but it happens over time. And I think that things like femininity and masculinity have been developed through our social interactions and social expectations. So it's a little confusing because to me, what it sounds like is that like, this is feminine. This is just like the law and it's defined and we know what it is and this is it. And I'm just a little confused by it. I don't know. Maybe some other people can weigh in on that sentence because I'm a little confused by that. But I appreciate that they liked my video. Wow, I'm out of breath. This person just commented on my video where I'm like talking about perfection again and said, this conversation was really healing for me. I demand perfection from myself because I feel like it's demanded of me, but also I demand perfection of others. So it's useless, and you're right, it's not realistic, compromising with others and also myself. Someone commented and said, replace the word compromise with collaborate, which I thought was very interesting because maybe compromising sounds like you're both like missing out, whereas collaboration is like more, I don't know, positive, working together. I don't know. It was just interesting. It was an interesting thought. Sometimes it just has to do with like how you word things, you know? Oh, that's spam. I always report spam comments. If you see spam comments, report them. I hate them. This person said regarding road rage, which was also on my perfection video, my philosophy is anyone who drives slower than me is an idiot and anyone who drives faster than me is a maniac. They said it's just a joke, but I totally relate. Like, I totally relate. I've definitely had those thoughts. I need to remember they are people, but damn, move already or sightsee on a different road. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing about road rage is obviously like, remember that there's a person in there and like we should, you know, try to not lose our cool. But goddamn, there are so many fucking people who are just like not paying attention. Like, light turns green and they're just like sitting there on their phone and I'm like, eh. Plato said perfection only lives in the realm of thought. It's a concept. It doesn't exist in the real world. Thank you, Laura. Okay. Somebody said run for president. Seriously, we need leaders like you. Oh, I love you, and I know that was probably said hyperbolically, but that's another thing that is just like, and I should probably just make a specific video about this, but maybe I can get like a little bit of feedback from you guys first. The fact that expertise doesn't exist anymore. For example, someone watching like and another reason why I don't use like super specifics. I mean, except for, I bitched about, I don't know if that video is up yet, but I bitched about the coffee thing. That was pretty specific. But I mean like regarding like really major issues or topics, I don't use specifics because I'm no fucking expert. I'm just a person who like is talking. I like talking to you guys about this stuff. Hello, I do my makeup like I wouldn't even consider myself an expert in makeup because no one taught me how to do it. I taught myself. You know what I mean? So there's like this conception or misconception that like something that the people I think should pay attention to is just because you like a certain person and you like the way they sound and you like the way they speak doesn't mean that they are an expert in what they're discussing. I will say this all the time. I am not. I'm just like interested in these topics and I want to hear what you think. And I like looking at them in different ways. But I can tell you right now, I don't know shit about politics. I mean, I know a little bit, but like shit about it enough to like tell anyone what to do. Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, someone who should be doing that kind of thing, their personality should not be what we are focused on. They're the way that they speak, whether or not they're an orator, you know, that's not the focus. It's qualifications. So thanks, but absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Oh, man. Oh, man. I just read a couple other comments and they kind of just crushed my soul. So I have a feeling because I'm not going to be touching on specifics on this channel that people are going to speculate a lot about like specific opinions that I have. And it's just so unnecessary, you know? I don't even know how to end this video now because of what I just read. The internet is a crazy place. I'm just going to wrap this up by reminding people that it does not matter what the fuck I talk about or think. Like hard opinions. That's not the point of this. And I really don't want anyone trying to make me out as some kind of representative or expert in anything that I'm not. And I would say it's the majority of things. So that's it. Still working on trying to get live stream stuff going. I know it probably seems like it's super easy, but I just haven't had the time and neither has my boyfriend. So to help me because I don't know all the things. So stay tuned. I will let you guys know. Also, I have so many fucking makeup products that I'm trying to give away. And I'm just remembering this, but I'm obviously going to announce it on my beauty channel for a makeup giveaway. I'll probably do it on Instagram or something. On my beauty Instagram. But just in case you like don't follow that channel and you like makeup, probably going to do a giveaway with like some bomb ass shit. So just saying. All right, you guys, I got to end this one because honestly, energy levels crashing. Great talk.